you can enjoy that piece of artwork that the two of you created. Now, you know, you're going to find your life, Damien, by losing it. You can still be an individual, but you must remember that you no longer just live for yourself, but you are living for the other person. Therefore, married life should be self-giving and not self-seeking. And it's because you want to be part of this creative relationship that you are here today. And I'm going to ask you the first legal question, and that is, Damien, is there any legal impediment that prevents you from marrying Simone? No. Simone, is there any legal impediment?
No.
The answer is no. Now, to help the couple on the road to a long and a successful married life, I like to share with them what I call my recipe. Now, as you all know, and I think the ladies know better than what we do, is that a recipe is a step-by-step directive to show us how to cook food, or to bake a cake, or even to have a barbecue. First you have to get all the utensils together, and then you get all the ingredients together. Now we must remember that a recipe is a tested thing. And I'm sure you're using some of your mom's recipes, so you know that they work. They've been used through the years. And you cannot mess around too much with the ingredients, and you cannot interchange the steps. Otherwise you're going to have a flop at the end of the day. So our little recipe has got a few little steps in it, but I'm going to allow you one deviation. There's only one deviation that you may change, and that is that you may add your own spices. Whether they are sweet or sour, that is your prerogative. I would suggest you go for the sweet. Now the first step in our recipe is don't worry. My word, that sounds so silly, don't worry. But you must remember that you are yet too young, mature, grown-up people. And when you sit down and you discuss a problem, you will come to a solution. But if you cannot come to a solution, you must remember that there are friends and there are family who care for you and who love you and who would only be too willing to help you with your predicament. But if you don't want to make use of their kindness, you may go to mom and dad, but that is at a very last resort, because I will not guarantee that you won't get a sermon as well. But you know, one is never a failure if he calls out for help. It's only the deep realization that you don't know everything, and you have to rely on the help of those who care for you and who love you. Second step, husband, trust your wife. Trust her with every single thing that you've got. Why? Trust your husband. Trust him with everything that you've got. There are three things in life that you cannot buy with money. And the first one is trust, the second one is your word, and the third one is integrity. Those three things are the biggest cause of divorce in the modern world today. So look after your word, your integrity, and your trust in each other. Because if any one of those get hurt, it takes a long time to repair, if ever. So work on it on a daily basis and make sure that those three things stay intact all the time. Third step, commit yourselves to each other from this day onwards. You only have eyes for Simone Damien. There's no one else in this whole wide world. Simone, the same goes to you. You only have eyes for Damien. As I said to you earlier on, it's a miracle that the two of you are here together. You know, I often think about the little song that Katie Malua sings about the million bicycles in Beijing. Do you know that song? But if there's so many bicycles in Beijing, there must be so many people, you know. But even in the whole world, there are billions of people. And out of those billions, you've come together. A miracle that you have to nurture and be thankful that it happened, and that the two of you can go ahead. So commit yourselves to each other from this day onwards. Then our fourth and last step in our recipe is lean on each other. Why? You must know that Damien is there for you if something goes wrong. Your name is etched on his shoulder. And if you are not well, you're feeling down, something is bothering you, you've got the full right to put your head on his shoulder. And Damien, you've got to love her, and care for her and nurture her until Simone is ready to take her rightful place in the family again. But so also, we men are very difficult to cry if we're in trouble. Your name, Damien, is etched on Simone's shoulder as well. And you've got the full right to put your head on her shoulder. And you, Simone, must love him and care for him and nurture him until he can take his rightful place in the family again. And you must also know, husband, that you are the head of the house and you must lead the wife. Lead the wife in all things. Two of you sit down and you discuss it, but you take the lead. You are the head of the house. Now, a recipe is going to be very, very dry. If we don't have a gravy, we should have a bit of a gravy in our recipe. The gravy that we have in our recipe here is the word communication. Communication. And I don't mean body language. How hard you slam that door makes no statement. It only opens up the crack in an already fragile relationship. Share your love with each other. Talk about your plans, your visions, your joy, your love for each other. Talk about those things. Talk about your home situation, your work situation, the kids. Talk about those things. And even when you're old one day and your hands are all wrinkled, you can still hold hands